Hey, Tim Sykes here. I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you're studying. I'm going to post a link to a very specific video lesson from the past that I think a lot of people missed. I want you to watch it. It's roughly an hour long. And I'm also going to link to my new 30-day boot camp, which, getting the best reviews of my 12 plus year teaching career, thanks to Matt Monaco. So study those two things if you can this weekend. But I wanted to also go over some negative stuff or some, confusing stuff. I think on the weekends it's a good time to go over just some tweets and messages that I get. I'm not looking to embarrass anybody or, rub salt in the wound. I think that we can all just learn from mistakes and losses. So I have a few tweets here, and and if you email me, if you tweet at me, that's cool. Like, this is why I look at everything. I don't have like assistants. My last three assistants quit. They can't keep up. Or actually one was fired. But, between everybody, like, I am the one who does all of this, okay? Because I need to know what people are having problems with. So somebody, tweeted me, said, I quit for today. I have no idea what to do anymore. I know all my recent posts have said I've been frustrated. I'm beyond it now. I'm loss after loss. I've been through the whole program and can't do anything right. Help. A lot of people try too hard. Okay. I know you want success. I know you want money, but you seem to think, and I say this a lot, but you seem to think that like you're owed money from your time, right? Like, a normal job, you work a certain number of hours, you get paid per hour. Like, that's how it works. But with trading, you could study, you could research, you could do all of this, and then you could still lose money. And then it's very easy to get frustrated because you're like, I put in all this time and effort and the market is just so confusing. What you have to learn to do is that you can lose on any trade. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much time you put in. Loss after loss after loss. If you're on a bad streak, it could be you. It could be the market. There's two moving targets, okay? Actually, leave a comment below this video. This is probably the most important thing that I'm going to say in this video. There are two moving targets. Write that as a comment. Moving target number one is you, finding what works for you. Do you like dip buys? Do you like breakouts? Do you like shorting first red days? Do you like holding for minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months? Everyone is different. So you have to optimize. And in order to optimize, you have to test. In order to test, you have to experiment. When you're experimenting, you're going to have a lot of failure because a lot of experiments don't go according to plan. So you have to anticipate that failure. So that's why I say trade small, cut losses quickly, paper trade if you have to. Do whatever you have to do, but understand failing and losing is part of the process. And it's actually good. I know it's frustrating, but it's frustrating if you have the wrong mindset. If you're like, I never want to lose, I should always win. Like, that's just not realistic. Secondly, sorry, I'm like filming this upside down just because I'm doing a lot of burpees and I'm stretching. I'll tell you everything. I'm totally transparent with what I'm doing at all times. It's kind of funny. Second moving target is the market. It doesn't matter if you like breakouts. It doesn't matter if you like earnings plays. Sometimes the strategies just don't work. If you look at a lot of dip buys the past 3, 4, 5 days, haven't really been bouncing. BASA, I would have loved for it to bounce better, but it didn't. It bounced, gradually into the afternoon. Not my kind of bounce play. I tried to dip buy it a few times, but you have to accept that. JCPNQ, Jack Kellogg made like 10 grand. I made a few hundred dip buying it really quickly. Actually roughly like 1,000, but both of us were in and out, in and out, in and out. He traded it like 5 or 6 times. I only did one. But the recognition is that not every play has to bounce perfectly, no matter how much you might love dip buys. So recognize that failure is an option. And once you start recognizing that, you start trading more cowardly, more safely, you start cutting losses quicker. And you don't get frustrated because you recognize, like, if you lose 7 times in a row, then okay, maybe you're off, maybe the market's off, maybe the two moving targets are both off. So size down. Whenever I don't do well, you'll see in my trading commentary, like, taking half size position or a third position, or, maybe I might say I'm done for the day. Like, that's another thing. Jack Kellogg made like 10 grand the other day and then he was done. He went to go play golf. Roland made like 5 grand and then he went to go play golf. Golf actually helps a lot of this is a mental game. So that's why on the weekends, I think I'm going to do more of this. Actually, leave a comment below too if you want more of these kind of like psychological lessons. Because I see a lot of students having these issues. And what happens is you get frustrated, you stop studying, you stop trading. You're like, I can't do this. I suck at trading. Everyone loses. It's just a part of the game. But the question is, how are you going to minimize those losses? How are you going to handle those mistakes? How are you going to learn from them? How are you going to learn what not to do? So, this is how I help. I explain this stuff because I know a lot of successful trading lessons are counterintuitive, and I know that it can be very frustrating. And also, if you just keep losing, even with the psychological thing, start doing the opposite, okay? If you're saying, oh, loss after loss after loss, and you're always buying, instead of buying on the next trade, when you want to buy, just try a short sell. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're so consistent at losing, then maybe you have like the dark gift of being a short seller. Anything can happen. You have to try everything. You have to be open-minded. And narrow-mindedness is the problem, where you think that it has to be a certain way. You have to do this a certain way. You don't. It doesn't. Anything can happen. You might be the best short seller ever. Or, maybe you're a short seller and then you come to the positive side and then you're like, wow, I'm actually making more money buying. Tim Grittani has made $3 million this year and he's made more on the long side than the short side, which, is opposite previous years. That's what trading is all about, adapting. So people want it to be an exact science. People want success right away. Tim Grittani, I often say, made nothing his first 9 months. He might have made $1 million in 3 years, but 9 months of nothingness, just learning. And some people are like 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks into their journey and they're like, I just can't get it. You can't get it because you don't have the right perspective. Okay. So have patience. When I say it's a marathon and not a sprint, I'm not just, liking me talking. I talk enough. But you do need to have the proper mindset. Otherwise, this can be very frustrating. Second tweet here, so blatantly obvious, idiot Twitter sheep just can't see past their own nose, can't put two to two together. I will admit Stan got me for about a month, lost with GNUS, XSPA, finally cut my bags and saw the big picture clearly. You helped me see the truth, so thank you. And this is the thing, like the reason why I explain about promoters like Stan is no longer on Twitter. He's no longer pumping GNUS or XSPA, which is probably part of the reason why those stocks can't spike for shit these days. So we miss the promoters. And the only reason why I talk about Stan publicly is because he's off. I don't want to talk about the current promoters publicly because we need them to keep spiking these piece of crap stocks. But at the same time, I need to help you understand why you can't hold and hope, why you must cut your losses quickly, why you must, ride the hype, but never believe it. Because there are all these promoters with random usernames. Please use Stocks to Trade breaking news. They alert all the best pumpers. And part of the reason why I don't go into it is because if I specifically said, a pumper's name, they would just change their username. And then we would have to, dig them out. And it would be like whack-a-mole. The promoters always change their names, their websites. It's the same tactics, but they're trying to lure people into these piece of crap stocks. Okay, so if you ever see anybody who says, buy this stock, it's going to the moon, only sellers are weak. If you sell, you're a coward. Like all this stuff where it's just like cheerleading rah, rah, rah on these absolute junk companies, and they hype up their story and they hype up every press release and tweet. And they say that they, email investor relations and they get newbies believing it, right? Like they get them drinking the Kool-Aid and you must learn not to. So I will always expose the BS because all of these stocks, especially, after the crazy summer that we had, now they're just going down almost every day. And it's still like people are still brainwashed. So, people have to see this. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to lose before they start realizing it. I know I have like haters, but it's only because I'm trying to like wake people up, right? I'm trying to de-brainwash them from the promoter crap. And now, you see it with even higher price stocks like RKT and NKLA. These promoters have been hyping them up nonstop. Then when they start tanking, they're like, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell. Like, why would you tell people not to sell? Like successful trading is all about cutting losses quickly when a stock breaks a key level. I don't care how good the story is. I don't care how good the product is. The market is the key. following price action, respecting price action. And literally the promoter on RKT and NKLA was telling his followers all week to hold, 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 hold. The stocks are fine long term. The fundamentals are fine long term. And the stocks tanked 30, 40, 50%. And late Friday, he had one little tweet after like 100 tweets saying hold. He had one tweet being like, I'm out. I got to refigure everything out. And my guess is that they cut off his promoter contract. Like, these people are getting paid by companies and or shareholders. And, that's how they're making their money. That's why they don't show all their trades. So if you ever see somebody say, don't sell, or, if you sell, you're weak, or this stock is going to the moon, badger them and be like, show me all your trades. Show me your real name, because I just don't believe a fucking word that you say, because that's the proper mentality with promoters. But at the same time, again, I don't want you, badgering them too much that they disappear, right? Like Stan created a lot of big spikes, and then he had his own personal issues, which, every promoter has, because they're basically, soulless. So that's unfortunate. So I want you to understand the game, but also recognize that we need promoters. Promoters create these spikes that are great for trading, whether you're buying the breakout on all the promoter hype and all the idiots following it, or if you're shorting into the parabolic moves, or if you're dip buying the crashes after the big spike and the big crash. They're great dip buys. There's 3 opportunities to really trade them. It's every step from my 7-step framework. So recognize why I don't want the game to end. I want to educate you so that you can profit from the game, but at the same time, we like promoters. Remember, before this latest round of promotion and this big market spike, the best spikers for stocks were short sellers, where shorts would try to push a price down. Again, very similar to promoters, they would try to lure as many people into their positions. This is where I'm different, right? Like, I don't want you following my alerts. I don't want you following alerts from anybody. I want you learning, again, with the 2 moving targets, what works best for you and what's working best in the markets. This is the difference between being a real teacher and someone just trying to lure people in. Okay. There's, some traders where they have like a Facebook Live and they have like 40,000 people following them, and they say buy, and then 2 seconds later, all their followers buy, and then they sell, and they're like, look, I made 10 grand in 15 seconds. And that's not a real strategy. Okay. That's a joke. But that's the reality of the market right now. Never follow alerts from anybody. Never buy just because someone else is buying. Instead, learn the mindset, okay? If there's somebody with 40,000 people or 30,000 people on a Facebook Live buying, start understanding, oh, they're pumping their stock up in order to sell it. Oh, someone's on Twitter saying the stock is going to the moon and you should never sell. Oh, they're pumping it up. So start recognizing who is a pumper and a promoter, and start recognizing the predictable patterns that promoters create. 3rd tweet. That's why you're so revered by your followers and students and trashed by your haters. Your program is sincerely changing my life. Very grateful. Thank you, Tim. Well, thank you. I do like, positive comments too. And again, I don't mind the haters. Like, this is the beauty of being real in an industry full of fakes. Okay. I've been doing this 20 plus years. I've seen so many promoters and pumpers come and go. Half of them, you never even find out their real names until, they go to prison. Like, it's a very shady industry. You had best damn penny stocks and awesome penny stocks and the Wolf of Weed Street. And, all of these are like fly-by-night promoters or pumpers. For me, I just sit back and, I take what opportunities I can where I see predictable patterns. And, right now, 2020, I'm having, frankly, a record year. So I appreciate, dedicated students, but I don't mind the haters. Some people are like, how do you deal with all the haters? Like, I just laugh. A lot of the haters are just, newbies following these promoters, and they're brainwashed and they don't know any better. And the promoters don't want you to learn real rules. They don't want you to see that, you should never follow alerts from anybody. They're specifically trying to lure you into their positions, whether they're a promoter and they're saying, buy this company, look at all the amazing reasons, or they're a short seller and they're saying, look at all the reasons why this is trash, okay? They make money by luring people into their positions. This is part of the reason why I donate 100% of my trading profits to charity, okay? I don't make a single dime of personal profit from my trading. I want to show you the process. Like I said, I don't want you to follow my alerts or buy my alerts or sell my alerts or do anything with my alerts. The alerts are alerted in real time specifically to help you understand my mindset. Why am I buying here? Why do I cut losses quickly? Why am I sometimes doubling up on positions? Why am I impatient? Why do sometimes I have more patience? I had a nice profit on, what day was it? Friday on, let me just pull it up. HNCKF. Will it work? No, I lost my connection. Hold on. I actually have to get going. So I'm just going to pull up a quick chart. This is HNCKF. First big green day on Friday. I made roughly $3,000 buying this on Tesla rumors. And I gave it a little more time and I made, over 20%. And people ask me, why did I give it more time? Because it had Tesla rumors. The company even put out a press release saying, the Tesla rumors, or they didn't specifically address the Tesla rumors. They just said, there's no announcement coming at this time. And the stock tanked, but then it actually, nearly doubled into the close as the rumors persist because, they have these metals that Tesla needs. But the long story short of it, why did I hold a little longer? And it's because first green day OTC play with Tesla rumors, with a perfect breakout, with massive volume, like that setup is better than a lot of the other setups that I take where I might not have as much patience. And on this one, I sold actually near the day high, around 140-ish. And I didn't really even want to sell. I would have held it all day if it had, just gradually uptrended. But I sold because it started going parabolic and I had, my position, and I usually like to sell into parabolic action. So learn from why I give a stock patience. Learn from why I take profits. Don't focus so much on, the specific price. And again, don't follow alerts from anybody. You need to learn to be self-sufficient. Okay. Going back to this last tweet, your program is sincerely changing my life. It'll change your life if you follow my instructions. It'll do nothing for you if you don't. Some people are like, oh, like I'm trying to follow, alerts from so-and-so. And I'm like, stop following alerts. Your life changes once you start following instructions and you start understanding that you have to think of yourself as a scientist. You have to experiment with different strategies and different patterns. You have to be there in different markets. You can see how to make money in bull markets and bear markets. I make money in all different markets not because I'm a great trader, just because I'm a great experimenter. And I've run so many experiments over so many years. And now that knowledge is in my head. And some people, if you don't have a great memory, I have a great memory. I'm very fortunate. But some people have, Excel spreadsheets and they're, being more systematic and that allows them to size up. Like that's how Tim Grittani does it. Like he knows specifically which patterns are best statistically with his spreadsheets. I'm not that exact of a trader. So you have to figure out what works for you. And I appreciate the comments, but I'm not like looking for, compliments. And, I still am amused by my haters. Anybody who hates on me, I'm like, which pattern do you disagree with? Do you disagree with cutting losses quickly or buying multi-day breakouts, on OTCs with big news and big volume? Or do you just, what do you disagree with? And literally to this date, I have never had one hater specifically say they disagree with any of my rules or any of my patterns because they don't even know. They just hate the fact that I'm saying, oh, penny stocks are great. They hate the fact that I'm donating 100% to charity. Why do you talk about charity? Why can't you just do charity quietly? Well, did you ever think that the charities might need a little more exposure than just money? Did you ever think that a lot of these charities are run by amazing people who are very humble, but they're not really great at social media or business and they need help? Did you realize that I built 70 schools? Yes, that's cool with my charity, but my social media followers have built another 16 just because of me posting about it. So there's a rhyme and reason for everything that I do, and I'm proud to post transparently. So this is why I'm passionate about this. This is why I'm filming this on a freaking Sunday morning, spending 20 minutes just going over basics. But a lot of this is about the proper perspective and mindset. Okay? So ignore me if you want, but the key to success is the two moving targets, finding what works best for you, finding what works best in the market, and then adapting over and over. And if you can master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patterns, the more that you can master, the better your odds of success, because different patterns work in different markets. So again, I'm going to include 2 links below. One, the 30-day bootcamp, which is a fantastic course. You can watch it at your own time. 30 days is just suggested. But then also a new hour-long video that I think a lot of people miss, but I talk about what different students are doing for, their profits. And it's not an exact science. So thank you guys. I'll see you in the chat room tomorrow.